The 2025 Major League Baseball playoffs and Major League Baseball season is just about over, and the World Series is set. Welcome to Phillies Daily, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Kennelly. Make sure you guys subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. I've been giving you guys these playoff updates, so today it's no different. The 2025 Fall Classic, the World Series, is set, and that is between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, we all wish that the Phillies were in it right now instead of the Dodgers playing for a World Series. There's a lot of people before the playoffs started thought it may be Phillies versus Blue Jays in the World Series. It would have been a fun one, but the Phillies were unable to get the job done against the defending World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers in the NLDS. They lost in 4 games. The Dodgers went on to sweep the Milwaukee Brewers in the NLCS to punch their ticket to their second consecutive World Series appearance. Now here in 2025, the Toronto Blue Jays, they beat the Seattle Mariners in Game 7 of the ALCS. Best thing of all of sports is a Game 7, and the Blue Jays got the job done there in front of their home crowd. George Springer, he hit a massive go-ahead 3-run home run to pretty much help send them to the World Series. And, of course, adding some salt into the wound with the Phillies season ending the way we didn't want it. Jeff Hoffman, if you remember, he was with the Phillies the past couple of years. He was a reliever. He was an all-star. He is now with the Toronto Blue Jays. He signed a 3-year contract with them in free agency before the 2025 season. And Jeff Hoffman, he struck out the side against the Seattle Mariners in Game 7 of the ALCS to send his Toronto Blue Jays to the World Series to face the defending champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Jeff Hoffman, he has a 1.23 ERA with 12 strikeouts now and 2 saves in 7 1/3 innings so far here in the 2025 playoffs with the Blue Jays. In the regular season, Jeff Hoffman had 33 saves. That was good for the 4th most saves in all of Major League Baseball, not just the American League, all of Major League Baseball. His 33 saves, he had the 4th most saves. He's having great playoff success. Now, it wasn't really his best season. It was a little bit up and down throughout the 2025 season with the Blue Jays in his first year there with the team here for him. He had bounced around, had some bad months, had some good months, had some okay months. But the end of the season, Jeff Hoffman, he has been absolutely dominant for the Blue Jays. He had a 0.84, so a sub-1 ERA in 11 appearances in the final month of the regular season in September. And now obviously a 1.23 ERA through those 7 1/3 innings in the 2025 Major League Baseball playoffs. And now he will be playing for a World Series championship with the Blue Jays in their bullpen. Again, he was with the Phillies in 2023 and last year in 2024. Very good reliever for them. His first season in 2023 with the Phillies, he had a 2.41 ERA. And then last year in 2024, he had a 2.17 ERA. He was one of the best relievers in all of Major League Baseball, as he was really this year with the Toronto Blue Jays. He was an all-star, his first career all-star appearance last year with the Phillies. Remember, the Phillies had 2 all-star relievers in Jeff Hoffman and Matt Strahm. They were unable to bring him back. Not really a high price tag to bring Jeff Hoffman back. There was some interest from both sides. He really loved to hear. He wanted to stay. The Phillies, I'm sure, also liked him as well. Just couldn't get a deal done with Jeff Hoffman. He ended up signing that 3-year, $33 million contract with the Blue Jays in free agency ahead of the 2025 season. That's just $11 million a year. Now, if you really think about it, the Phillies spent $12.5 million this past season in 2025 on 2 veteran relievers. That was Joe Ross and Jordan Romano. Jordan Romano signed a 1-year, $8.5 million deal. Joe Ross signed a 1-year, $4 million deal. Joe Ross didn't even make it through the rest of the season with the Phillies. He was released by them towards the end of the season. Jordan Romano, we all know how that went. He had a few good moments with the Phillies, but way more bad than good. One of the best or one of the worst relievers I've ever seen pitched throughout an entire Major League Baseball season with the Phillies since I've been alive, my almost 24 years of life, and I've seen some pretty bad pitchers, some pretty bad relievers, even more than starting pitchers with these Phillies teams. Obviously, those 2012 to 2018-ish years were pretty bad for the Phillies. So they spent $12.5 million on those 2 guys that really did not help them much at all. And then Jeff Hoffman, $11 million they could have brought back for a similar contract like that. And obviously, all-star last year, very good year. Before that with them in 2023, and then one of the best closers, one of the best relievers in Major League Baseball. And now he's playing for a World Series championship with the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, another guy, another former Phil who is guaranteed a World Series championship here in 2025 is Buddy Kennedy. He was kind of a fan favorite with the Phillies last year. People wanted him to make the team this year. He did have some appearances with them here in 2025 before they moved on from him. But Buddy Kennedy, he played for both the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays in 2025, different stints with them. So if you play for that team, you are able to claim a World Series championship if that team goes on to win the World Series, as in other sports as well. So Buddy Kennedy, he is also still in the Toronto Blue Jays minor league system. I'll get to that in just a moment. So if the Blue Jays win, that helps him get that as well. But he also helped them at the major league level. Played with the Dodgers, played with the Blue Jays at the major league level here in 2025. He wins a ring no matter what, if he so chooses. He played 4 games with the Phillies this year in 2025 in June, but then he was designated for an assignment. He elected free agency, and then he signed with the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, he only spent 2 games with the Blue Jays at the major league level. In August, he was DFA'd, claimed by the Dodgers, and then he spent 7 games with the Dodgers in August after he was claimed at the major league level. He was DFA'd, elected free agency as he did with the Phillies, and then he signed back with the Toronto Blue Jays on a minor league deal, and he was assigned to their AAA affiliate. So he's still in the Toronto Blue Jays organization, but he spent time at the major league level with both the Blue Jays and the Dodgers, so he can claim a World Series championship ring no matter who wins this 2025 World Series between those two teams. So I guess good for Buddy Kennedy. He's a well-liked guy. He was well-liked here in Philadelphia during his short time. So congrats to him. He is a World Series champion no matter what here with the Dodgers or the Blue Jays in 2025. Now, just adding a little bit more salt to the wound. Sorry, this has kind of been a down in the dumps kind of video, but we are all allowed to be petty at times and be a little bit of annoyed of how things work out. Look at this sun creeping up on my head, I'm just noticing. Anyway, back to it. Adding some more salt to the wound. There's multiple former Phillies that can still win a World Series here in 2025. Not just Buddy Kennedy, not just Jeff Hoffman. So the list is, if you remember, Luis Garcia. He made 28 appearances out of the bullpen with the Los Angeles Dodgers earlier in the season. In 2025, he's no longer with the team. He was the Phillies reliever from 2013 through 2018. So those bad years of the Phillies, he was on that team. He was a reliever for them coming out of the bullpen. But he did make 28 appearances at the major league level with the Dodgers here in 2025. Again, no longer with the team. But if the Dodgers go on to win, Luis Garcia can claim a World Series championship ring for spending that time with the Dodgers earlier in the year. Spencer Turnbull, we all remember him from last year in 2024. He was the Phillies swingman. He came out of the bullpen. He made some starts at times. A lot of people liked him as well. A lot of people wanted to bring Spencer Turnbull back in 2025. They did not. He played with the Blue Jays earlier this season in 2025. He only pitched 6 1/3 innings with the Blue Jays. But if the Toronto Blue Jays win the World Series against the Dodgers, Spencer Turnbull can claim a World Series championship here in 2025. Now, somebody that's still producing and still helping out one of these teams, Sir Anthony Dominguez. We all know him. He had some high expectations here in Philadelphia. Kind of didn't work out for him. The Phillies traded him last year at the deadline to the Baltimore Orioles. He was then traded to the Blue Jays this year at the trade deadline from the Baltimore Orioles, who were struggling, who had a very down and underwhelming season here in 2025. Sir Anthony Dominguez is in the Toronto Blue Jays bullpen still. He's still producing. He's still helping this team win. He was a Phillies reliever from 2018 to obviously mid last year in 2024 before he was traded to the Baltimore Orioles. And then obviously as well, Buddy Kennedy, as I mentioned, can win a World Series championship ring no matter what. If the Blue Jays or the Dodgers win, having spent some time with them, both at the major league level here in 2025. And then Jeff Hoffman, the Blue Jays closer, one of their best relievers. He is fighting for a World Series championship ring after sending his team to the World Series with those 3 strikeouts in the 9th inning to pick up the save against the Seattle Mariners and win that ball game 4-3 in Game 7 of the ALCS. So those are the guys that can still win, that used to play for the Phillies, a World Series championship ring here in 2025 with either the Dodgers or the Blue Jays. Unfortunately, not with the Phillies because we all know bounced out of the playoffs way earlier than we all would have liked. Again, sorry kind of for the down in the dumps video, but again, we are all allowed to be petty at times. Sorry for the sun creeping up on my head. That's kind of strange, but either way, thank you guys for watching this episode of Phillies Daily. I'm your host, Mike Henley. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. Going to be a fun offseason, so make sure, as I'm saying, you guys stay tuned to these videos. Going to be a lot of rumors, a lot of trade rumors, a lot of free agency rumors as we get closer to the winter meetings and all that fun stuff. So stay tuned. Playoffs are almost over. Enjoy those as well. World Series, it's a fun time. Playoff baseball. If you were watching that Game 7 ALCS, that was electric. That was fun as well. So again, thank you guys again for watching. And as always, go Phils.